Hello and welcome to my TI preview series. I'm Bash and I'll be taking a look at the teams qualified to the International 2019, with a little bit of help, of course.
When we talk about teams that could easily lift the Aegis here at TI9, Alliance may be more than an outside runner in consideration. A team that has, by all accounts, had mixed results and none too glorious at the big DPC events this season. They barely clawed their way through on that point system, coming in at 11th. But maybe in that there's some strength. Maybe because TI always seems to just spit in the face of expectations. Teams that are expected to take the crown easily tend to finish midway through the pack. And the dark horses, on average, more often than not, tend to reign supreme at the biggest tournament in the Dota scene, and arguably in the esports world. Maybe in that, Alliance can find some strength. A team that has no weight upon their shoulders, no expectations of them claiming that Aegis. There is no pressure on a squad that is primarily made up of first-timers here at the International. Within that, there is plenty of talent to go around across a team that has been together for arguably a very long time. I say arguably, but in fact, undoubtedly by Dota team standards. This team has stretched a long period of time with basically the same roster, in a game that usually sees shuffles every few months, or at least every season. And it stretches beyond that. If you go back to the Heroes of New Earth roots, you'll actually find a long stretched out bond between the likes of Mike, Insania, and Boxy. These guys have been together a length that actually competes easily with the likes of Fly and No Tail. But is that expected to move forward? Well, that's the good news. Alliance have said that regardless of the outcome with these tournaments, they're in it for the long haul. As long as they see constant improvement, no matter how small or big, they will support this squad. And that kind of warms your heart. That shows that Alliance, they're coming into this tournament, they're feeling unshackled and free. They're available to play the Dota they want to, and there's nothing to limit that. And maybe in that they have their strength. A team that has multiple star players, in fact. We usually talk about Boxy and the way that he innovated Earthshaker and the way we look at an Ags Rush. Screw Blink Dagger, that's not needed all the time. But at the same time, Mike, a player that was hotly contended and sought after by multiple teams at the beginning of the season, he's always capable of delivering a star performance. And you cannot rule out Hoikva, a man that has been around maybe too long, maybe not long enough. He hasn't won a TI yet, so he's going to keep on grinding. And he brings that essence, that flavor of Alliance that we're used to, whether he's pumping out a lone druid, or maybe he's picking up a Nature's Prophet, or maybe they're looking for a cheese strategy that stretches a game 2 hours with involving a Storm Spirit and a Chen. You know that Alliance are going to deliver some of the highest tiers of entertainment, regardless of whether they win or lose. That's what we'll be looking to see here. Rounding it out, Tiger. You can't underrate this man. He is clearly one of the most competent and capable Earth Spirit players in the scene, and actually probably the only Norwegian player of note. And of course, rounding it out is Insania, a man who was handed the captaincy and so far has delivered pretty well. Proves himself capable of surviving longer than I'd actually give an average for most boss fights with his triple bracer build on practically any support. And it pays off. You make sure he's always there with the clutch saves, whether it's a frostbite to save the life of his core, or a false promise that ensures that Mike can plow over your opponents. And of course, at the heart of the pedigree, there's Loda. Coaching the team from afar, always lurking behind them, making sure they know what's what from a TI champion until they one day achieve that themselves. This is a team that doesn't have the burden of expectation, but has the freedom of unpredictability.
Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and leave a comment saying where you think they'll place at TI. This video was edited and produced by @PyandGiba. Go and follow him on Twitter. You can also follow me on Twitter at @ColinBasher. This video series also would not have been possible without the help of Bcop, Drag and Drop, Killer Pigeon, and Deja. Go ahead and check them out on Twitter.